Hello, and welcome to Ask the Expert, a space for relaxed, unscripted conversations with bold women who are making an impact. If you are new to my channel, I am the Michelle Olivia, and I am passionate about helping everyday women to embrace more peace, more passion, and more purpose every damn day. In each episode of Ask the Expert, I sit down with incredible women to talk about life, leadership, personal growth, and those real stories behind their success. No scripts, no rehearsed answers, just honest conversation. So let's get started. My guest today is a successful entrepreneur and my sister friend, Dominique Washington. Dominique, welcome to Ask the Expert.
Hi, Liv. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone.
Before we get started, I'm so excited that you were here today. Please just take a quick moment to share with our viewers a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you're currently excited about.
Well, my name is Dominique Washington, a longtime resident of Hampton Roads, loving the beach girl life. I am a realtor with a real estate group, and I've been a real estate agent for almost 4 years and loving it. And I'm also the co-owner of a photo booth rental company called the Super Divine Photo Experience, where we pride ourselves on elevating your events and bringing lots of fun and taking them to the next level with our 360 video booths and our photo booths. As a realtor, you can find me on getrealestatewithdominique.com on my website and all my platforms. But the joy there is educating people on real estate, especially in Hampton Roads, helping first-time home buyers buy their first home and start the path to generational wealth, and helping people transition to the next points in their life. Whether they're downgrading because they're empty nesters or upgrading because they're adding to their family. I just love everything Hampton Roads. You'll probably find me making some food reviews or some hotel reviews or hanging out by the beach because I just love showcasing what there is to do in Hampton Roads and how much I love it. And I love sharing that with people. So I guess that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I have to tell you, I have personally known Dominique for quite a few years, and I've had the pleasure of working with her in her capacity as a photographer at one of my events. She did such an amazing job. I know through knowing a lot of the same people that she's an amazing realtor, so definitely check her out. Are you ready to dive into our Q&A time?
Let's go.
Let's go. First off, we always talk about personal growth, the things that shape who you've become. And the question for you today is, what does personal growth actually look like in your daily life?
Personal growth for me is trying every day and doing my best every day. I'm not perfect. I do fail sometimes, but tomorrow's another day. I really had to learn about taking life step by step and day by day because I've been too hard on myself in the past. Things that have happened to me, maybe that weren't my fault. Or maybe as I've grown, I've learned that, hey, maybe I could have had, made that outcome a little different. But I learned to not be so hard on myself and just do my best every day. I've been thrown curveballs with firings and layoffs and places that I've dedicated my entirety to and sacrificed for. But I had to pick up and figure out how to make it happen, the next day. And I don't do it alone. Um, but I just try my best. And that's what personal growth looks like to me.
I love it. And I love the self reflection that you shared in that moment. That is maturity. But let's dive into some business and leadership, those decisions, risks, and responsibilities that we all have to deal with. So, your question is, how do you make decisions when the pressure is really high?
I think being honest and true to myself and my values. As I mentioned earlier, I have multiple businesses. They're not my only businesses. As you know, I've had a journey, but they're the two that I've landed on: real estate and photo booth. And to say I am still in the 9 to 5 world because I'm a single woman, and the bills still have to be paid, and I'm making it work. So I have a lot going on. But I'm sorry, give me back to that question one more time. I just lost it.
That's okay. How do you make decisions when the pressure is high?
Thank you. So, like I said, sticking to my values, I do have a lot going on, but I know the purpose for each business that I own and that I operate. So, as long as I'm sticking true to what I value and what I find important, I don't feel like I can go wrong. I might have some missteps. It might take a while to get back, to where I want to be, but my main goal is customer service and helping improve people's lives. It sounds crazy with the photo booth, but I love seeing the smile on people's faces, seeing them laugh. You're giving them enjoyment and you're giving them memories that you're making when they're, taking those pictures and videos with you, but also in that moment. Um, so, and with like I said, with um, real estate is probably one of the top investments that people are going to have in their lives. They're going to purchase a home one, if they're lucky, two or three times, and you're holding the person's greatest value and asset, and you're helping them mold their future. And, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter the product or the service that I'm offering. The number one thing is the person in front of me. So if I keep that as the utmost, everything else will fall in line. So that helps me with those hard decisions is remembering why I'm here.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's shift gears into some life lessons, the truths that life has revealed to us over time. What lesson would you say took you the longest to learn?
Um, Honoring and valuing myself.
Tell me more about that one.
Because I feel like my entire life I've always put other people first. And it's been a long journey to finding myself. Um, Saying no. It's crazy being an entrepreneur and knowing it's okay to say no, but that's for my personal health and my personal benefit, understanding my limits and what I can and can't do and not being apologetic for that at all. So that's been the biggest roller coaster is putting a pause to things sometimes, um, sometimes putting myself first for my mental health because at the end of the day, if I'm not at my best, I can't help anybody. I can't help anybody. And it's happened before where I've dropped everything. I've dropped everything. I didn't answer the phone. I wasn't taking bookings. I couldn't take another client and show them any houses because I felt empty and I had nothing to give. So, yeah, there are times and you have to stop and pause and put yourself first. And that is a continual journey because I feel like I am such a giver and I want to give on, I want to show, and I want to have an impact on the community, but you can't give from an empty cup.
Into that. And sometimes that one really takes a long time to learn. I do have to follow up on one thing you said about the learning to say no. I know for me along the journey, in the beginning, it was learning to say no. Now that I have the opportunity to say yes more, it's learning when the right time to say no is. So now it's more thinking about what really is in my benefit before I say yes or no to something.
I'm glad you added that. And I'm going to add one thing because I am a book lover and a book reader, and I've been more into nonfiction lately over fiction. I love Harry Potter. I'll read it over and over again. But I've really been into nonfiction for personal growth, business growth. But right now, I'm reading The Let Them Theory.
Mm.
It's not my book, but I got to put it out there. It was gifted to me because someone felt like, hey, this spoke to me so well. I have to gift it to you to give you that gift. So I'm giving it to y'all. Oh my God, read that book, please. I'm not finished. Oh my God, read that book. Like,
I'm about halfway and
you
I'm
are
gonna
too?
chime in with you and I'm gonna tag her on this video
Yeah.
because we are definitely gonna drop the link. That has been a phenomenal book and I
It's so good.
really love, love, love it. She's been one of my favorites for so many years. Mel Robbins, for those of you that we're talking like everybody knows exactly
Right.
who we're talking about. But Mel Robbins has been a favorite of mine for so many years. I follow her, I've read her books, and you are so dead on. That is an amazing book. We will drop the link in the description.
She did her
So
thing with that one.
let's move right along and talk about some relationships. The people that not just are in your day-to-day life, but those people that have impacted your journey. So, what would you say is the best relationship advice you have ever received?
Um, I don't know if it's been like received, I guess more so experienced. Um, and that's I say reciprocity. There's been, like I said earlier, I didn't get here by myself. There were a lot of people, you being one of them as well, that have molded my journey and where I am. And so many times I've called myself, I think you and I, we might have coined it together, but a serial multipreneur. Um, so I've had a journey and I haven't gotten here by myself. There was my broker at my first real estate brokerage, Janita Rucker. She's the one who she and my business partner at the same my business partner in my photo booth at the same time, they both kind of molded me and I grew into real estate from there because I didn't think about that as a career, but it just made too much sense. I met you along the way. We've done some therapy, some talks, and I dabbled in travel, being a travel agent for a while. And I've had another business as well. Um, but the the best thing that I can say as far as learning about relationships is like with my previous real estate broker, with my business partner, our relationship worked so well and we were all able to grow because we poured into each other. For example, at my previous real estate brokerage, I was doing social media content, training, um, team events, community events that help not only my growth, but the brokerage's growth with my business partner who has other business ventures. I've helped him, grow those businesses. He's helped me as well. Um, it's definitely about pouring into each other, and it's not all give and it's not all take, and it's not all 50-50. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to give 80 or 90 and the other person only has 10 or 20. But you don't do it for something to get something back. You do it because you care about that other person. And I believe in karma. It'll come back. If you do good things will come back to you. And I'll say the same thing in my personal relationships. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my mother, who our friendship's been growing. Um, into adulthood. And I'll say she's my number one supporter because, like, when I lost my job, um, I started businesses and I made things happen, but I needed that. Sometimes I needed that monetary support. Sometimes I needed that emotional support. And no one has been my bigger cheerleader other than my mother. But at the same time, as I grew older, I realized my mother needed me as well. And I'm teaching her things now. And now she's dabbling into entrepreneurship because that was something she never thought of. Because she grew up in the era, you go to school, you get a degree, you do a job, you do it well, you retire. But she's seen me and she tells me how I inspire her. And I'm like, how? I'm just trying to make it like every day. I don't know. So I think that also shows the reciprocity. I would not be here without, some of these people that I've mentioned.
Amen to that. I love it. Shout out to mom. And for those of you watching, drop it in the
She's gonna
comments.
watch this.
Yes, she
So say hi
is.
to my mom.
Definitely drop it in the comments. Shout out somebody that has made a difference in your life, who's been that person that supported you. They will love to see their name in print, I assure you. So let's talk fun, the lighter side of you. If you could have dinner with anyone, living or past, who would it be? And we already talked about mom, so take her off the plate.
I have dinner with mom all the time. It's like, uh, see, who would I have living or past? Uh, I would say Michelle Obama.
Ah, I'm with you there. Oh, can I?
Gosh, I mean, just the what she's experienced, what she's been through, the first African American First Lady of the United States of America. Um, I think she knows it, but that is an inspirational woman.
Yes.
Even outside of being a first lady, she stands on her own, and Barack Obama, our amazing president, doesn't mind mentioning that as well. But oh, if I could just sit with her and just take in some life advice, even the adversities I faced, I would ask for some business tips because like the more that you put yourself out there, the more people come to attack you. And it's hard. It's been difficult because I have personally been putting myself out there more on social media, more content, more showing myself, showing my life. And the people that come and attack you just for no reason, thinking that they know you, and all they're seeing is this. Oh my God. If I could just talk to her and just be like, oh my God, tell me everything. Tell me, give me your wisdom. How do I get through this? How do I stick through this? I just feel like she would just have tons of advice.
I
She
have to
sees some
ask,
things.
have you read her book, Becoming?
Yes, it's been a while.
Yes, but I am about to reread it. I'm in the middle of another book right now, but I'm about to reread it,
It's
or
on
I
my list
should
for a
say,
reread.
re-listen to it. Some of you may already know this, but I am severely dyslexic, so I'm more of a listener than a reader, but it still counts.
Yeah.
Let's let's talk a little bit about reflections, your perspective from where you are right now. What is a risk that you are so glad you took?
Hmm. A risk that I'm glad I've taken. I would say there's so many, Liv. There's so many. You might have got me with this one. Um, what was one of my riskiest risks? It just feels so personal. The personal
Well,
side to the.
remember, it's going to be out there for everybody to see. So
It's
don't
okay.
share
I
what
don't
you don't want to
mind,
hear again.
and I don't mind being vulnerable because that's a part of the process, and nothing's perfect. All right. So one of the biggest risks I've taken. Um, okay, I'll go with this one. After I was laid off from my second job in the healthcare industry, I made the decision to go full-time entrepreneurship and just make it work. Um, if you heard earlier, I do have a 9 to 5. This lasted about 9 months, but I'm so proud of myself. As someone who has 2 degrees, learned to go to school, get the degrees, get the job, got the jobs, got the promotions, put 50, sometimes 60 hours a week into these jobs. After getting fired, which is a whole nother story. But I think the layoff was toughest. That was in 2022, 2023, and like everything changed. Now by that time, I already had my photo booth business, and I was just getting into like my second year of real estate, so it was like just kind of taking off. But I decided it was the time if I need to try it and see how much I can push myself. I was in business networking, and I got a couple of side jobs as well. I wasn't ashamed to do that. And probably one of the hardest things was moving out of my really nice home that I worked hard for, apartment at the time. Moving out of my really nice home and moving into a smaller apartment, still nice, but it took a ego hit. It took an ego hit. But and I had lived in that previous apartment for 5 years and I loved it and I never planned on leaving until I purchased again. But my financial situation didn't allow it. So I had to suck up my pride and move. And it was difficult. And I wasn't too happy with the place where I was living for the time that I was there. But I was still happy that I was able to pay the bills and push for both of my businesses full time. I definitely saw a difference in those businesses after that year. even getting back into the 9 to 5. I took my time when I decided I needed a 9 to 5. I took my time and got the job that was able to allow me to continue my entrepreneurial goals. And that's been working very well for me. But that was a big risk because I had never done that before. You don't just not have guaranteed income coming in, especially when you've been used to that for like 12, 15 years. It was scary.
Amen. Amen. I can feel you there. We could do a whole nother video just on that question.
Wow. Yeah.
So the last subject matter to talk about is turning points, the moments that have changed everything. So flipping that last question, your last question, I'm sorry, flipping the question about risk you took. This question is, what opportunity did you almost miss?
Um, what did I almost miss? I would say this opportunity where I am now, with my current real estate brokerage. I made the very difficult decision to change real estate brokerages. That might not be a difficult decision for some realtors. It happens a lot. We are independent contractors, and it's okay. But I had a very tight, and I don't feel like that relationship's changed, but have a very tight relationship with my previous broker. And as I mentioned earlier, we poured into each other a lot in our business and personally, because we really believed in each other. Um, but I was at a point where I feel like I needed growth, and I don't mind sharing this story because it's real, it's true, and hopefully this speaks to somebody else. But it just came to a matter of putting myself first um, as a business decision. Um, putting myself first, which we've talked about as well. That could be hard
Mhm.
for me. But business wise, it made sense. I was just looking for growth. And like I said, it's completely okay. But it was a really hard decision for me. I had actually pushed it off for like a year. And that's why I'm using this as an example as an almost missed opportunity because I probably should have done it sooner, but I stuck things out longer. At the end of the day, I don't regret sticking things out longer because the last year was a big learning experience. Everything's a learning experience. Okay. We could talk about that separately as
Well,
well. But at the end of the day, um, I am finally, I feel like right now I'm in a place where exactly where I need to be. Um, yeah, almost a missed opportunity. But everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Can I say, what if you had made this move last year? I don't know, but I wouldn't be who I am today. Something would be different. I wouldn't
mhm.
be me, but I'll just say taking that jump, that leap for myself, for my business, almost a missed opportunity because it was still hard to pull that trigger.
Mm.
It was still hard to pull that trigger, but I'm glad that I did and took that step for myself.
And I
So
am.
much love for where I came from. It's still there. Um, but yeah, that was hard. Again, speaking earlier too, putting ourselves, that's hard for me.
Mhm. I'm glad you made the right decision for you in the right timing for you. Most of us have heard the expression hindsight is 2020. I don't buy into that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can look back and say what you coulda, shoulda, woulda done, but you have no idea what the outcome would have been. So, as most of you may know, in closing, I always have my signature question because my life mission is built around more peace, more passion, and more purpose. So, for you, Dominique, the closing question is, what are you choosing more of in your life right now?
Right now, with everything I have going on, my 2026 has been filled with more love, um, for the people in my life. Again, as we talked about earlier, you've had some great questions because they all just tie together so well. And as far as my story, they all tie together so well. But I wouldn't be where I am without the people that have shaped my life personally and professionally. And this year while I'm expanding in my businesses, both of them, so glad that is happening. I am making more intentional time to pour into the people in my life personally, because with the multiple businesses that I've had, as busy as I am, I've lost that connection. I feel. Um, so it's easy to sit and think, oh man, so and so hasn't checked on me, so and so hasn't talked to me. But then I had to self-reflect about what I'm doing. And I love the people in my life so much, my best friends who've been there since Geico days, since college days, since high school days. I make purpose intention to block off certain days, block off certain times, celebrate the birthdays, the anniversaries, all my friends' kids who are graduating, class of 2026 everywhere. And it's just filled me with like so much love and purpose and peace on the inside. And it kind of fuels me to keep going with my businesses. It is like it's a cycle. I feel happy. I feel they motivate me. Um, like I said, happy, inner peace. I can, getting up and it provides more purpose to my life. So as my businesses have been growing, as I've been expanding and changing, the big thing I'm doing this year is giving back, pouring back into the people that have always been there, like my day ones. And it just feels really good.
I love it. What a great way to end this on. Thank you so much for being with me today. It has been such a pleasure, as always. Love catching up with you, love hearing what you're doing. And thank you for sharing on Ask the Expert. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Liv.
it.
Thanks for
For those of you that, right back at you, for those of you that are out here watching this on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, hit the bell. And if you love Ask the Expert or the vibe of my channel, watch this video next. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, may you have a peaceful, passionate, and purposeful day.